Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive with us.
Glad to be here.
Today we're going deep into the world of the SCP Foundation.
One of my favorites.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, we're talking about like a world where, a statue can kill you if you blink.
Yeah. Or like a crystal that can turn anything it touches into more crystal.
Yeah, it's the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
Right. But that's what the SCP Foundation's all about, right? It's like this thin veil between us normal folks and all these anomalies.
Yeah, it's a really interesting concept. And what I think is fascinating is it's not, like a top secret government agency or anything like that. It actually started online as like a collaborative writing project.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's kind of like this giant creepypasta campfire story
I like that.
everyone's adding to.
It's very fitting for the internet age.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's unpack this a little bit. What does SCP actually mean?
So SCP stands for Secure, Contain, Protect.
Okay.
And that's the Foundation's mission in a nutshell.
They're like the Men in Black, but for like the really, really weird stuff?
Yeah, exactly, like Men in Black, but instead of flashy suits and memory wipes, they've got like scientific protocols and a whole lot of reinforced concrete.
And probably a lot more paperwork, too.
Oh, definitely. Way more paper.
So they're like the cleanup crew for when reality glitches out.
Exactly.
But with so many weird and wonderful things, how do they even begin to like organize all of it?
Right, so that's where the object classes come in, and they basically categorize SCPs based on how hard they are to contain and, how much of a threat they pose.
Okay, makes sense.
And so the most dangerous ones are classified as Keter.
Keter, that sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, it is.
Like end of the world kind of intense?
Pretty much.
Yikes.
So the word Keter actually comes from Hebrew,
Oh, wow.
and it means crown,
Okay.
but it's also linked to these mysteries that humans can't really understand.
So it's like the crown jewels of danger.
Yeah, exactly. The ones that could, topple kingdoms or even like the whole world.
Okay, so if a Keter-class SCP breaks out, we're basically in like a disaster movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it.
So then you have Euclid,
Okay.
which are anomalies that are containable,
Okay.
but we don't fully understand them.
Right.
They can be unpredictable, so the Foundation has to be on its toes.
So Euclid is like that friend who's full of surprises. You never know what they'll do next.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least you can usually handle it.
Hopefully.
What about safe SCPs? Does that mean they're like safe to be around?
So this is where things get interesting.
Okay.
Safe doesn't necessarily mean harmless.
Okay.
It just means that they can be reliably contained.
Okay.
So think of it like a controlled nuclear weapon.
Okay.
Incredibly powerful, potentially destructive, but manageable under the right conditions.
Yeah, so even safe SCPs, you got to handle them with caution.
Yeah.
We're not talking about cuddly teddy bears here.
Definitely not.
But let's get to the good stuff.
Yes.
Let's talk about some actual SCP examples. You mentioned a statue that can kill you if you blink.
Oh, yeah. SCP-173.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Also known as the sculpture.
Right.
It's basically this concrete statue that looks like a creepy baby. And what makes it truly terrifying is it can move at incredible speed,
Okay.
but only when no one is looking directly at it.
So if you blink, you die.
You blink, you die.
Wow. Okay. So to contain it, they have to have like multiple personnel
Right.
all staring at it 24/7, making sure no one blinks.
Yeah, they have to have a coordinated system to make sure someone is always watching.
I can't even imagine having that job.
Yeah, it'd be rough.
Staring at this creepy statue all day. Talk about pressure. And to make things even worse, it seems to enjoy leaving little presents, even though it doesn't eat or anything.
Yeah, that's one of the creepy little details about it.
So we've got a homicidal statue that poops for some reason. What else you got?
Well, how about a crystal with a deadly touch?
Okay. Okay.
I'm listening.
SCP-409,
All right.
also known as the Contagious crystal. That sounds lovely.
It is a stunning crystalline structure,
Okay.
but anything it comes into contact with starts crystallizing really rapidly.
So basically don't touch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And even breaking contact or amputating the affected area won't stop it.
Yikes. So how do they contain something like that?
So it's currently kept in a marble sarcophagus
Okay.
because marble is mostly immune to its effects.
Smart thinking.
Yeah.
But is there any way to like reverse the crystallization?
So that's where SCP-500 comes in,
Okay.
also known as the panacea.
That sounds promising.
It's this rare substance that can cure any disease,
Okay.
including the crystallization caused by SCP-409.
So it's like a magic bullet, one dose cures anything.
Pretty much.
Wow, but you said it's in limited supply.
Right.
That's rough. Speaking of tough, How about we tackle a truly terrifying one?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's talk about SCP-682.
The hard-to-destroy reptile.
Okay, so it's a reptile.
Yeah, it's this massive reptilian creature.
And hard to destroy, meaning like they can't kill it.
Pretty much. They've tried everything.
Oh, wow.
It regenerates from pretty much any injury.
Okay.
Even things that should kill it outright just seem to make it angrier.
Oh, no.
And they even tried using SCP-409 on it.
Oh, really?
Hoping to crystallize it completely.
How'd that go?
Not great.
Okay.
It crystallized about 60% of its body, but then the crystallized parts exploded.
Oh, no.
And SCP-682 just regenerated.
So it made it worse.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, great.
And it's seemingly even more resilient than before.
So this thing's basically a walking, talking, indestructible tank.
Pretty much.
Where do they even keep it?
So right now it's contained in this pool of acid.
Acid?
Yeah, which it's somehow adapted to.
This thing is terrifying.
It really is.
All right, I'm almost afraid to ask, but are there any SCPs that are even creepier than a giant unkillable reptile?
You know there are.
Okay, hit me.
Hold on to your hats.
Right.
We're about to delve into the realm of SCP-939.
That name alone sounds terrifying.
It is.
What is it?
Also known as With Many Voices.
That sounds like something out of a nightmare.
It is. So imagine this.
Right.
A large quadrupedal creature,
Okay.
but it has no discernible nervous, circulatory, or digestive systems.
So it's like breaking the rules of biology already.
Yeah.
What else makes it so creepy?
Well, despite lacking vital organs, it's carnivorous,
Okay.
and it hunts by mimicking the voices of its victims
Oh my God.
to lure in new prey.
That is a whole new level of nightmare fuel.
Right.
And you mentioned something about its reproductive cycle being kind of unique.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with that?
So SCP-939 lays eggs
Okay.
that hatch into what appear to be perfectly normal human infants.
Human infants.
Yeah.
And they develop totally normally until they turn 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
At which point they undergo this rapid and really disturbing transformation into their true monstrous form.
Oh my God, 8 years old. Talk about a horrifying surprise birthday party.
Right.
Oh my God. So the Foundation had a field day studying these things.
Yeah, I bet they were all over that.
Yeah, they were particularly interested in the gas that SCP-939 exhales, which can induce short-term amnesia.
Amnesia.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they saw this as a potential tool for dealing with witnesses to these anomalous events.
Right, so kind of keep the public from panicking.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it all under wraps.
But there was a problem.
There was a big problem.
What happened?
The gas had a terrible side effect.
Oh.
People who inhaled it would often disappear without a trace.
So they traded one mystery for another.
Yeah, they did.
That's rough.
So they had to scrap that idea.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Talk about a moral dilemma.
Yeah, for sure. But knowing the Foundation, I bet they had like a plan B.
Oh, they always have a plan B.
Before we get into that, though, let's finish this round of SCP introductions.
Okay.
With one that's sure to keep you up at night.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
SCP-966.
What is it?
The sleep killer.
Sleep killer. Okay. I'm officially terrified.
It's a gaunt humanoid figure that kind of looks like a mummy or a skeleton with these long, brittle nails.
Yeah.
And its ability is as terrifying as its appearance.
I'm sure.
It emits this sound that permanently deprives its victims of sleep.
Permanent insomnia. That sounds like torture.
It is. And to make matters worse, SCP-966 likes to stalk its victims while they're suffering from the sleep deprivation.
Oh, so not only can you not sleep, but you've got this creepy skeletal figure watching you.
Exactly, driving them to exhaustion and despair.
I'll take a double espresso, please.
Me too.
How do they contain something like that?
Well, luckily, they discovered that lead can block the sound waves.
Okay.
So the 4 captured individuals are kept in this lead-lined enclosure.
That's a relief, at least for those 4.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how the Foundation makes these tough calls.
Yeah.
Like, is it always about containment, or are there times when they have to, eliminate a threat?
That's a great question. And it leads us perfectly into the next part of our deep dive.
Oh, it does.
Where we'll explore the Foundation's methods and the ethical dilemmas that they face.
I can't wait.
Buckle up.
I will.
It's about to get even more intriguing.
I'm ready. All right, so we've met some of the stars of the SCP show.
We have.
Creepy statues, contagious crystals,
Right.
unkillable reptiles,
Yeah.
voice-stealing monsters, sleep-depriving ghouls.
It's a wild bunch.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
But I'm dying to know more about, like, the people behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Like, who are these SCP Foundation folks, and how do they handle all this craziness?
Right. It's not just about, like, locking these things up and throwing away the key.
Right.
It's a very complex organization with this very strict hierarchy and all these specialized departments.
Interesting.
So you have, researchers, containment specialists, security personnel.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Except the gears are greased with existential dread.
Exactly.
But so it's not all like hazmat suits and flamethrowers.
Yeah. No, not at all.
There's actual science going on here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Research is a huge part of the Foundation's mission.
Makes sense.
They're constantly trying to understand, these anomalies, their origins, their properties, even potential applications.
Right, because some of them could have, like, beneficial uses.
Yeah, some SCPs, while dangerous, might actually hold the key to some, incredible scientific breakthroughs.
It's kind of like they're trying to solve a cosmic puzzle.
Yeah.
With pieces that keep trying to bite them.
That's a great way to put it.
And because the stakes are so high,
right,
the Foundation has to make some tough calls.
Yeah.
Which leads us back to my question about eliminating threats.
Right.
Like, it can't always be contain and observe.
Yeah.
Especially with something like, SCP-682.
Right.
Like, how do they decide when to neutralize an anomaly, even if it might be sentient?
That's where the ethical dilemmas really come in.
Yeah.
Remember SCP-939 and its amnesia gas?
Yeah.
They thought they could use it to protect the veil of secrecy.
Right.
But it ended up making people disappear.
Yeah.
So does protecting the secret outweigh the risk to individuals?
That's heavy stuff.
Yeah, it is.
So it's not just about the science, then. It's about philosophy and morality, too.
Definitely.
Do they have, like, an ethics committee or something?
They do.
Well,
Yeah, there are internal groups dedicated to, trying to make sure that their actions are as ethical as possible given the circumstances.
that's good.
But it's definitely a constant struggle,
Right.
like a tightrope walk
Yeah.
between protecting humanity and, potentially violating the rights of some of these sentient anomalies.
Yeah, it's like they're playing God.
Yeah.
But with the fate of the whole world hanging in the balance,
Exactly.
that's a lot of pressure.
It is.
Makes you wonder, what would you do if you were in their shoes?
It's a question that haunts a lot of the stories and discussions surrounding the SCP Foundation.
Okay.
There's no easy answers, and that's part of what makes it so compelling.
Yeah, it's like a giant thought experiment about the nature of knowledge, power,
Right.
what it means to be human in a universe where the rules can change at any moment.
Exactly. And that brings us to another fascinating aspect of the SCP Foundation.
Okay.
Its impact on popular culture.
It's gone way beyond just creepy online stories.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
It's everywhere these days. It's like books,
Yeah.
art, video games.
Yeah.
I've even seen like music inspired by SCPs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like this weird underground cultural phenomenon that just keeps growing.
Yeah, it's great. And what's remarkable is how its open source nature has fueled this creative explosion.
That's true.
Anyone can contribute to the SCP universe,
That's right.
add their own SCPs, stories, interpretations.
Yeah, it's like a giant collaborative storytelling project.
It really is.
And it's not just about scaring people, right?
Yeah.
There's humor in there, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like a kind of dark, absurdist humor.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a way of coping with the sheer strangeness of it all.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you can't laugh at the cosmic horror, then what can you do?
I guess when you're dealing with reality-bending anomalies, a little dark humor is a good coping mechanism.
Definitely.
But there's also this underlying sense of wonder, right?
Yeah.
Like a childlike curiosity about the unknown,
Yeah.
even if it's terrifying.
That's what makes the SCP Foundation so fascinating.
Is it true?
It taps into our deepest fears and desires,
Right.
our need to understand the universe, even the parts that scare us.
It's like a modern mythology for the internet age.
It really is.
And it's a mythology that anyone can participate in.
Exactly.
You don't need to be like a writer or an artist to enjoy it.
Right.
You can just dive in and explore.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong way to experience the SCP Foundation.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can read a few short stories, browse the wiki, watch some videos, even play a game or two.
Yeah.
It's a choose-your-own adventure for the curious mind.
Okay, so we've talked about the SCP Foundation's mission.
Yeah.
Their methods, the ethical dilemmas they face, their impact on pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something else I've been wondering about.
Okay.
All these SCPs, these strange and terrifying things,
Yeah.
they're fictional, right?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah,
The SCP Foundation really blurs the lines between fiction and reality.
it does.
It makes you wonder, what if the monsters lurking in the shadows are closer than we think?
What if there really is a secret organization out there protecting us from the things that go bump in the night?
Right. And what if those bumps are a lot weirder and scarier than we can even imagine?
That's a scary thought.
It is.
But that's the beauty of the SCP Foundation.
Yeah.
It plants that seed of doubt, like a sense of unease,
Right.
that lingers long after you close the browser tab.
Exactly.
It's a reminder that the universe is a vast and mysterious place.
Yeah.
And we humans may not be at the top of the food chain after all.
That's right.
Mind officially blown.
Glad to hear it.
I think we need to take a moment to process all of this. Yeah. Before we dive into the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
but I have a feeling things are about to get even deeper.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so we really went deep on like the mission and the methods, the ethics, even the influence on pop culture.
Yeah. We covered a lot.
But one thing that's been sticking with me is like the psychological impact of it all.
Yeah. It's not just about, monsters in the dark. It's about what those monsters represent. Right.
Exactly.
Our deepest fears, anxieties about the unknown.
The things we can't control.
Exactly.
It's like the SCP Foundation takes those fears and gives them a face, a name,
Right.
a containment procedure.
Yeah.
It's terrifying and oddly comforting at the same time.
It's true. It's that idea that, even the most bizarre, the most dangerous things, they can be understood.
Yeah.
They can be categorized.
Put in a box.
Contained.
Yeah.
It gives us a sense of order in
Right.
a universe that often feels chaotic and unpredictable.
Definitely. But it also reminds us that we're not at the top of the food chain.
Right.
That there are these forces out there beyond our comprehension.
Beyond our control.
Yeah, it's humbling.
It is.
Think about like SCP-173, for example.
Yeah.
The idea that something can move only when you're not looking at it,
Right.
that it can kill you in the blink of an eye.
It's primal.
It's terrifying.
It taps into that fear of the unseen. The fear of what lurks in the shadows.
And it's not just the fear of physical harm either. It's like the fear of losing control, like our own minds betraying us.
Like with SCP-966.
Exactly. Permanent insomnia. That's psychological torture.
It really is.
The SCP Foundation really explores those psychological fears in a way that few other fictional universes do.
I think so.
It forces us to confront the darker aspects of human nature, our own capacity for like cruelty, for manipulation.
For destruction.
Yeah, but there's also this sense of like resilience, of hope, woven into the fabric of the SCP Foundation.
Right.
These people, they're facing impossible odds, unimaginable horrors, and yet they keep fighting, they keep researching.
I keep trying to understand.
Keep trying to contain the unknown.
Yeah. It's a testament to the human spirit.
It really is.
Our drive to explore, to learn.
Push the boundaries of knowledge.
Even in the face of danger.
And it's not just about survival.
Right.
The Foundation also shows compassion, even towards these anomalies.
Yeah.
They're containing, like they try to understand them.
Right.
Find ways to coexist, even if it's difficult, even if it's dangerous.
Like with SCP-939, they tried to use its amnesia gas for their own purposes.
Right.
But they ultimately abandoned it when they realized the harm it was causing.
They had a heart.
Yeah, it shows that they're not just blindly following orders.
Yeah.
They're grappling with these ethical dilemmas, trying to do what's right.
Even when it's not easy.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes the SCP Foundation so compelling.
I agree.
It's not just a collection of scary stories. It's a reflection of ourselves.
Yeah.
Our own struggles with fear and hope.
Control and chaos.
Yeah, the desire to understand the universe and our place in it.
There's a lot to think about.
It is.
So what's the takeaway here?
Yeah.
Why should we care about this fictional organization
Yeah.
dedicated to containing imaginary anomalies?
Because the SCP Foundation is more than just fiction.
Right.
It's a mirror.
Yeah.
Reflecting our own anxieties.
Our own hopes.
Our own fascination with the unknown.
It's a reminder that the world is a stranger and more wonderful place than we often give it credit for.
Yeah.
And even though the SCP Foundation might just be a product of our collective imagination,
Right.
the questions it raises, the emotions it evokes, those are very real.
They are.
It makes you think, what if the line between fiction and reality is thinner than we think?
That's the beauty of it.
It is.
It leaves you with that lingering sense of unease.
Yeah.
That feeling that maybe, just maybe, there's more to the world than meets the eye.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a lot more aware of my surroundings right now. I'm definitely going to think twice before blinking around any creepy statues.
Good idea.
Well, that wraps up another deep dive.
Yeah, that was a good one.
If you want to learn more about the SCP Foundation,
There's a lot out there.
just head to the internet.
It's all there.
Until next time, Stay curious, stay vigilant, and never stop exploring the strange and wonderful corners of the universe.
Both real and imagined.
See you next time.